YouTube, it's me, Bergie, and before I start anything else, I want to apologize for not being here for like a month. I have a ton of excuses, but because this video is going to be long by itself, I'm not going to go into that right now. Maybe in another video I'll explain, but until then, we're just going to get into this video. So as you can see by the title of this is going to be my first ever book haul on YouTube, which is quite exciting. I've been wanting to do one for a while, but I've never really accumulated a lot of books, or I never really had the time to record one. So now I do. This book haul is going to be huge as hell because I got a shit ton of books in the past 6 months. Now I'm saying 6 months, but that's kind of a lie. I have a couple of books from like January, a couple more from like April-ish, but then the rest I've kind of gotten since I've been back home, and most of it's from this book fair that our local library has, and they have really good deals, so I buy all the books. I'm just gonna get right into the haul because there's a lot of books. Let's start out with the first books that I got all the way back in January. So these books I ordered on Amazon, but stupidly, or maybe subconsciously, very intelligently, I sent these not to my school address, but back home here. So I didn't have them until I got back home. So the first book is Zodiac by Romina Russell, and I already read this book. The original reason why I bought this was because of the cover and also the concept. I kept on seeing it on Facebook, and I guess they got me enough that I decided to get it, finally. But I did read it, and I'll probably be doing a wrap-up, which is something else that I haven't done at some point. And I'll give some thoughts on this because I didn't like it enough really to give an actual overview or its own review video. I also got this, which it's not even unwrapped yet, but I got the 5 books from George R.R. Martin, A Song of Ice and Fire. Like, I was going to call this Game of Thrones because I don't know it as anything else, but apparently A Song of Ice and Fire is the actual title. But yeah, I've been wanting to read these books, and I kind of stupidly got the really expensive leather-bound copies because I wanted them to look good, even though I've never read them before, so I don't even know if I'll enjoy them. They weren't too bad, expensive-wise. I think I got them for like $25 on Amazon, and that's not bad considering there's 5 leather-bound books in here that are quite big. So, yeah, I decided to get this. The next books I got, were because I need them for my dissertation, which I might actually do a whole video on that, talking about it. So I needed to pick these up because I need to start reading and writing down ideas for my dissertation. So that's why I got these collections of books. So the first one I got was The Birds and Other Plays by Aristophanes. And then I got Protagoras and Meno from Plato. Then I already had Theogony and Works and Days by Hesiod, but I thought I might as well include it. And then lastly I have Aeschylus, Prometheus Bound, and Other Plays. So these are the actual textbooks or ancient works that I'm going to use for my dissertation. And then I have 2 other books that I thought kind of will be useful for it, but more so one than the other. And the one that's more useful is The Cambridge Companion to Greek Mythology, edited by Roger D. Woodard. And if you didn't tell by the other books, I'm writing my dissertation on some kind of mythological aspect, so this will probably be helpful. And lastly, I got Greek Mythology, A Traveler's Guide from Mount Olympus to Troy, by David Studdard. I think that's who wrote it. But yeah, I know this book kind of looks worse for wear, but that's because when I went on my trips, I took this with me for a bit of light reading. And I didn't finish it, but it was quite enjoyable. It was very nice to have, especially when I was on my trip in Greece, because I could read about the places I was going to, and it was just very fitting. And it's actually really cool. So yeah, I was really happy with this one. So the next collection of books are books that I actually bought on my trip, or I collected on my trips. So the first 2 was from when I was in Egypt, and the first is A Brief Illustrated Guide to Understanding Islam and Women in Islam. Now these were free, so I might as well have picked them up because it seems interesting, especially with all the stigma against Islam and women in Islam, so it's kind of interesting. The next two books I got while I was in Amsterdam, and that was, of course, Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl, the definitive edition. So it looks like this. It's very pretty. So it was the limited edition of that's only located at the Anne Frank house. So I was like, I might as well buy this. And then I also bought The Last 7 Months of Anne Frank, the stories of 6 women who knew Anne Frank by Willie Lindwer, or I guess collected by Willie Lindwer. And I thought that this would be very good because even though it is important to know Anne Frank, she wasn't the only person that was a victim of this. So it's good to realize that there are other people and to read other stories. So I figured that would be a good thing to buy and read eventually at some point. Okay, the next two books I got while I was in Greek. The first one when I was at the Acropolis Museum, and that was Greek mythology, which will probably also be very useful for my dissertation. I'm not sure, I haven't gotten a chance to look at it, but it's really nice. And it's the Papademos Egdotiki. I'm guessing that's the edition. But yeah, so this might be very helpful as well. And then finally, when I was in Santorini at this very beautiful bookshop, I might include a picture right here of it. It was really pretty. I got this coloring book, which is Coloring Greece, and I've been collecting coloring books lately, as you will see in a little bit as well. But I thought this would be really nice, especially because I think Greece was my favorite place to have visited this past 2 trips. So I was really glad to find this, and it was quite cheap. And I mean, coloring books, they're always great. They're very helpful in de-stressing myself. So these next books I got when I came home. My mom had collected them, I guess, for me. So there's quite a number of them. So first is Nightmares by Jason Segel and Kristen Miller. I don't really know what this is about. I think my mom just picked it up and was like, eh. But it says, Charlie Lard has several problems. His dad married a woman he is sure moonlights as a witch. He had to move into her purple mansion, the creepiest place in Cypress Creek, and he can't even remember the last time sleeping wasn't a nightmare prospect, like even a nap. What Charlie doesn't know is that his problems are about to get a whole lot more real. Nightmares can ruin a good night's sleep, but when they start slipping out of your dreams and into the waking world, well, that's something only Charlie can face. And he's going to need all the help he can get, or it might just be lights out for Charlie Laird. For good. So I'm guessing this is either a children's or a middle grade book. And I mean, it sounds interesting. I don't know if I'll pick it up right away, but yeah, I have it now. Next, I have Secret Lives of the Civil War, What Your Teachers Never Told You About the War Between the States by Cormac O'Brien. Now, I have a book similar to this that was about the presidents, and I found it really interesting. And I also like learning American history. I mean, I'm an American, so I might as well know some stuff. And, I mean, these are fun little books. I mean, it's not that little, but it's a fun book to get your toe into historical writings. So the rest of these are coloring books that my mom got me because she knows that I'm obsessed with coloring books. And the first one she got because she knows I'm obsessed with coloring books and Harry Potter. So I have Harry Potter Magical Creatures, the coloring book, and it's just, let's see if you can see this. Like, just really cool pictures of all the creatures that have been introduced throughout the series. I'm guessing more so in the movies than the books. But yeah, so I don't know if I'll actually color in the Harry Potter ones because I'd be afraid of ruining it, but I have them. The next 3 I don't mind as much. I'll color them, and if I ruin them, well, that's okay. So first I have A Colorful World, a coloring book featuring the art of Catalina Estrada, which it's just little simple designs. There was one with a unicorn, some hummingbirds, and that kind of pretty stuff. Then I have The Art of the Seasons, which I have already started coloring in. And I'm actually trying to color them during the season, so like I'll only color the spring ones during springtime and summer during summer and so on. So I have some colored in, which was nice. This one I really like, but I think I messed it up with the houses, but oh well. And then finally I have Home is Where the Heart Is, a handcrafted coloring book, illustrations by Steve Dufendak. And this one is really pretty, and I'm pretty sure I'll color this only when I'm not at home, so when I'm homesick. So it'll remind me of home. And it's really beautiful. Yeah, it has like a whole bunch of like interior design kind of stuff, or like different decorations. So I'm really into that kind of stuff, so this one is going to be really good. My mom also got me a whole bunch of books from her school book fair. Again, quite cheap, so she got me as many books as she thought that I would be interested in. So first off, which is something that I'm really excited about because I love the movie. I quote the movie, and then only I think it was last year or maybe the year before I read it, because I didn't know it was a book until like quite recently. And I didn't have it, I just rented it from the library, but now I have my own copy of The Princess Bride by William Goldman, sorry. But I love this movie. The book is great, and honestly, even though I watched the movie way before I read the book, it is a very good adaptation of this book. It's literally, okay, it's almost literally word for word, and it's amazing. So I'm so happy to finally have this, and I don't even mind that it is the movie kind of cover. I don't mind at all. So some other books that my mom got for me, she got me a whole bunch of Dan Brown books because she knows I've been obsessed kind of with Dan Brown. So I have Deception Point, I have Angels and Demons, The Lost Symbol, and The Da Vinci Code, which I know was not in the order really, but I just picked them up this way. But I've read all of these before, so I know I love them. It's just good now to have a copy. And then 5 more books, sorry, all from Stephen King, because I want to get more into Stephen King. Because, I mean, he's kind of iconic, I guess, writing-wise. Like, everybody knows who Stephen King is, and I just want to get more into his writings. And last October, I read The Shining, so I figure I might try to do every October. I'll read something of Stephen King, maybe more than one book, but we'll see. So I have Dreamcatcher, Blockade Billy, which I have no idea what this is about. I have no idea really what all of these are about. Thinner, The Talisman, which I guess is also by Peter Straub. And then finally, Under the Dome, which I know was a TV show and it seems interesting, so this I'll read probably next, maybe? I don't know. I was thinking of going in order of what he's written, but that might be a little too difficult since I don't have all the books. Now some books that I bought on my own. First, we have The Last Star. So I've been reading all of the Fifth Wave books, and this is the last one, so of course I was going to pick it up. And, ooh, it's by Rick Yancey, and as you can see, I got it from Target. I already read this. I might do a video on this itself. I might just wait for the wrap-up. I don't know. We'll see if I have time. But I really did enjoy this. I did. I won't go further into it, but I have this. I read this. It's good. And then I also bought Supernatural, the coloring book. And I saw this in Hot Topic, which if you don't have a Hot Topic by you, I feel sorry for you because that is the fangirl guys, like, life. It's the store for you. So I have this, and it was just hilarious. I purely picked it up because I could, look at them. I could color in Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles. Like, that, it's just so funny. I mean, look at young Sam. Look at young Sam. And then they also have Bobby. They have Charlie. They have Death. They have Castiel, which, oh my gosh, Castiel is hilarious. Let me find a good picture. Oh, they also have Crowley. He looks hilarious in that picture, too. Hold on. Castiel. So yeah, I'm really excited. I might not coloring this purely just to save it and not, again, mess it up. But I also think it would be hilarious to color in, so I might color it in. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. So, just a couple more books to go. Not really, but... Okay, so this next collection of books I got from the book fair at our local library, like I said before. So there's going to be a lot. I'm not going to talk much about them. Let's just get into them. So I first got Tangerine by Edward Bloor. I read this book, I think, sometime in high school because it was a Reading Olympics book. And I did like it, and it's always fun to pick up books that I read before that I kind of enjoyed, especially Reading Olympics books, because I usually just read those through the library because I need to read as many as I can in a short amount of time for the competition. So I picked this up finally, and I'm kind of glad. I want to read it again to see exactly what it is, because I kind of forget. I know the general plot, I guess, but not too much. Like, I'm pretty sure this deals with soccer. Yeah, the main guy plays soccer, which I love soccer, so that's good. But then it's also a little weird other than that. But yeah, so I got this. Then I have Before Tomorrowland by Jeff Jensen, Jonathan Case, Brad Bird, and Damon Lindelof. Next, The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. This is kind of, I guess, a classic, I guess? Yes, Scholastic Classic. So, yeah, I figured I should get this. I have Thomas More's Utopia. Also, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. I'm probably one of the few people who has not read this yet, so I figured I might as well read it soon. So I got it. This one was purely because of nostalgia. It was Sideways Stories from Wayside School by Louis Satcher. I don't know about you guys, but when I was in elementary school, in our library class, our teacher would always read these books, or these stories, and I loved them because they were so weird and random. And I mean, Louis Satcher is great, so I picked it up, and it's great. We'll see if I actually read it, though. I probably will at some point, but I don't know. I also have The Divine Comedy by Dante, and oh my goodness, I've been wanting to get this book and read these plays, I guess, these comedies, forever. But I never got it for some reason. I don't even know why, but I'm so fascinated by this because it just sounds so interesting and I want to read it, and now I have a copy of it to actually read. I also got The World of the Hunger Games, which is just a companion, I guess, to the movies. I don't know what it is, but it was the Hunger Games, so I was like, might as well pick it up. I don't have it, but could be cool. Don't know. I got Don Quixote by Miguel de Cervantes, which is another classic. Then we have Passport to Narnia, A Newcomer's Guide by George Beam. And again, this is purely because it's connected to Narnia, and I love the Chronicles of Narnia, so I got it. Most of these books, you'll see a theme that they're not books that I would go out of my way to buy or get them at full price. They're just books that I kind of want to read, and I saw them, so I picked them up because they were cheap. Schindler's List, this is another one of those by Thomas Keneally. I've heard about this, so I decided to get it when I saw it. Same with The Kite Runner by Khalid Hosseini. I'm pretty sure my 9th grade history teacher talked about this, so that's why I was familiar with this book. I'm pretty sure it's really good. I've heard good things about it. I also have Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. The Brothers Karamazov, not pronouncing that, but by Fyodor Dostoevsky. That I also probably butchered, but oh well. Then I have a collection by Shakespeare, because I don't know why, I've just been in the mood, or I want to start reading Shakespeare. So we have As You Like It, Much Ado About Nothing, A Midsummer's Night Dream, and The Tempest, all by Shakespeare. Oh, I think I have another one by Shakespeare. Yes, we do. We have King Lear as well. Then I have Greek Tragedy, a literary study by H.D.F. Kitto. This might be helpful for my dissertation, but probably not, but still it's good to have. I also have The Merry Adventures of Robin Hood, written and illustrated by Howard Pyle. Mark Twain, The Prince and the Pauper, which I can't believe I've never read this as well, so I picked it up. The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand. Now the reason I got this was because the night before my mom and I went to our local library for the sale, I was reading The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and if you've read it, you know that Charlie's English teacher, always gave him random books to read and then write little essays about them, and this was one of them, so I was like, oh, I need to get this because Charlie read it, so that's why I got it. We also have Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. Not pronouncing that again right, but we read this in my senior year of high school, and I really liked it, and I didn't have my own copy, so I decided to get it. There's also Tuck Everlasting by Natalie Rabbit, which I saw the movie, and I really liked it, and I figured I might as well read the book. Now this one I got purely because of YouTube, because I've seen it cropping up all over by other booktubers, and it is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt, I guess. I don't know what it's about, just saw other people reading it, and I decided to follow that train, to jump on that bandwagon. That is the more common saying. And then I have The Girl in the Spider's Web by David Lagercrantz. I have the first book, and I plan on reading it at some point, and I'm pretty sure this is like the last in the series. I'm not sure at all, but I figured that this was only like $1, so I might as well get it cheaply, because I do want to read the series, so I got it. Now, I know that was a lot of books, but we have only 4 more, and these are ones that I bought from an actual bookstore. Okay, so the first 2 I bought again for my dissertation, and I'll seem off because it's not Greek, anything Greek, ancient Greek, so I'll have to explain in another video at some point, or if you don't care, that's okay too. But I have George Orwell, Animal Farm, and then also George Orwell, 1984. And I mean, I wanted 1984 anyway because, again, I can't believe I have not read this book. I've been wanting to for ages, and I keep on thinking I have the book, but I actually don't, so it's good to have. Now I also have The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith, or otherwise known as J.K. Rowling. Now I've been wanting to read her other books. I have The Casual Vacancy. I tried to read it, but I just couldn't get through it. I'll probably try again at some point, but I figured this would be a lot easier and more interesting to read. So I got this one. And then I also have Eleanor in Park by Rainbow Rowell. Now I read Fangirl by her, and that was actually the first book I kind of reviewed on YouTube. And I really like her writing style. Even though it is kind of cheesy, I do like it. And I actually already read this. I might do a review. I might just put in a wrap-up. Don't know. But I did really like it. I thought it was really cute, but not a bad way. But yeah, this is my book haul. I had 69 books, which is a lot, and that'll never happen again. This only happened because it's taken place during 6 months, and because I need books for my dissertation. I also got a lot of books very cheaply from our local library sale. So those are the reasons why I have a crap ton of books. Oh, and I also thought I might as well mention this since I do review movies as well. I bought The Secret Life of Walter Mitty very cheaply at Best Buy, as you can see by the sticker that's still on it. But I saw this in the movie theater, and I had an existential crisis, so when I saw that this was cheap, I grabbed it immediately because I love this movie. And plus, Ben Stiller is quite attractive. He is. But yeah, so that's everything that I got. And yeah, I'm kind of sad, but I mean, you can never have too many books. Never. The problem, though, is finding a place to put them. That's going to be the real problem. So I'll see you next time, and hopefully it's not another month. But until then, bye.